Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent bringing you episode 2 of Let's Play Wizardry 8. The old school gem that I sadly have not played a ton of yet. Ever. But I'm hoping to take this series pretty deep. This is day 1 of our 3-day recording for the game, and we saw the introduction. We're going to go ahead and click Start New Game and get right into creating a party. So I want to tell you guys what I was thinking. So for the party, I was thinking either a Valkyrie or a Lord. Probably a Valkyrie. They learn pre-spells. She can also use axe. What are Lord's weaponry? Okay, he's dual weapons, sword and dagger type. He also has health regen, which is really nice. But I think out of the two, I would go with the Valkyrie. Oh, look at that! You can just click. That's pretty cool. So this is what I'm thinking. Valkyrie as one of my frontliners. Believe it or not, Bard is one of my frontliners, because if we make, say, like a Dracon Bard, you know, we can get high vitality, high strength, and make a pretty good offensive Bard character, who we can give some weapon skills with the bonus points, and that would be our second frontliner, but they would have the vitality to survive the front line. So then the third character I was thinking could be a ranger. I love this searches all the time ability. It's not going to be a Dracon ranger, but we'll figure out what kind of ranger. So we've got Valkyrie, ranger, Bard. I think the next class would be Gadgeteer. I like messing around with gadgets. I think that'll be fun. Merging items into gadgets. I've never done that in the game. So that's 4 characters. And then I think Bishop, which can specialize in divinity for our healing until the Valkyrie comes around. And maybe alchemy and wizardry, or divinity and just alchemy, or divinity and just wizardry, something like that. We don't have to worry about the psionics, because we're also going to have a psionic who can do psionics and mental magic. Probably be our mythology person. They have communication, but since we have the Bard, it's really not necessary as much. So let's see what we can do with the Dracon Bard. Say we would have a male Dracon Bard. We would probably go something like piety affects stamina. Character's overall stamina. Measurement of your character's endurance. A character's stamina is determined by his experience level, strength, vitality, and piety. So piety has a small amount. It's more strength and vitality. Hit points represent the amount of damage your character can endure before death. Your character's hit points are determined by his experience level, profession, and vitality. Spell points. The amount of magic power available to a caster in a particular realm. Spell points are affected by experience level, spells already known in that particular realm, piety, as well as the controlling realm skill like fire, earth, water, air, mental, or divine. To a lesser degree, spell points are also affected by the magic study skills, wizardry, divinity, alchemy, or psionics. Interesting that I just realized the bishop has divinity, but does not have divine magic. Oh, neither does a priest. I guess divinity just covers that. Armor class represents how well protected a character is. The higher the AC, the better. AC is primarily determined by the armor the character is wearing, but some races also have natural AC bonuses. AC is also affected by speed at very high or low levels, and by the skills stealth and reflection. In combat, AC is also affected by protective actions in combat, like protect and defend, as well as the use of a shield and the character's shield skill rating. Exceeding 70% of your character's carrying capacity or becoming fatigued decreases your AC. And finally, carry capacity represents how much your character can carry. CC is affected by your character's strength and his vitality. Exceeding 70% of your carrying capacity negatively affects your character's armor class, and exceeding 50% of your CC negatively affects your initiative, chance to hit, number of swings, and number of attacks. Fairies have a lower CC than all other races, so Say we want to make this Dracon Bard. Let's see how we would do it. Did we get to the stats yet? Strength affects any maneuver that requires physical strength, from hitting creatures to the damage done. Strength also influences most weapon skills, carrying capacity, and stamina. So I'd probably boost that to like 58 to start. Intelligence affects the character's performance in mental tasks such as music, artifacts, engineering, communication, close and ranged combat, mythology, all forms of schools of magic except divinity, and a character's skill with locks and traps. So because there's music there, we'd probably raise that 3. Piety affects the character's magic realm skills and heavily influences divinity. Piety also affects the amount of spell power a character gets when he gains levels, as well as a character's overall stamina. We'll leave that alone. Vitality affects the amount of hit points, stamina, and carrying capacity a character receives, as well as and the likelihood of succumbing to disease. 60 is pretty good. Let's check out Dexterity. Affects the chance to hit and to penetrate with physical attacks, the number of physical attacks in combat, and all weapon skills. Dexterity also affects skills which rely upon the body, such as locks and traps, stealth, pickpocket, and music. So we'll go ahead and raise that 3. Speed, this is the one area where the Dracon kind of lacks a bit. Affects the initiative in combat, the number of swings per attack, and the number of attacks per turn. Speed also influences some combat skills. At very high or very low levels, speed can also affect a character's armor class. I'd probably put 3 into that. And senses affects anything which relies upon a character's senses, such as initiative, sighting monsters, finding hidden items or secrets, scouting, mythology, psionics, and artifacts. Senses also affects some combat skills, such as close combat, critical strike, and dual weapons. Senses are pretty good, so let's put an extra point into speed, intelligence, and I guess 1 into senses. Alright, so let's say if that was our bard. You know, we have all these skills here. Oh. Certain classes only have certain skills. So he does have the weapon skills. Missing all of the intelligence skills or whatever, but that's okay. He has communication, mythology, artifacts. We have 15 points to spend, 8 in music. So I'd probably go like, can even use dual weapons, ranged combat. I don't think I'd go ranged, I'd go close combat. 2, 3, 4, say we put 5 into that. And then I would go like, maybe even shield. Improves a character's armor class bonus from shields and also impacts your ability to hit and to penetrate with the weapon you're using. Strength and dexterity. Let's go over these as well. Close combat affects an attack's success when the character is fighting in any close or extended weapon, such as a sword, dagger, or spear. Senses and intelligence are the controlling attributes. Ranged combat affects an attack's success when the character is fighting with any ranged combat weapons, such as the bow, sling, thrown weapons, or modern weapons. For the ranger, it determines his chance of a critical strike when using a bow or modern weapon. This skill also applies to ranged criticals with bows or modern weapons if the character possesses this special ability, senses, and intelligence. Dual weapons, the intricate ability to wield 2 weapons at once successfully, dexterity and senses. Artifacts, which he has an 8 in, determines a character's ability to effectively identify items and to successfully use a large number of magical items. Instruments, gadgets, and thrown items are governed by their own skills. Intelligence and senses. What does that mean, governed by their own skills? There's only music. Well, we'll get to that. Well, let's read that again. Okay, successfully use a large number of magical items, but instruments, gadgets, and thrown items are governed by their own skills. Intelligence and senses. Mythology, the ability to recognize the true identities of monsters and to determine their characteristics. He's not going to be our main mythology person, I don't think. Our psionic will be. But senses and intelligence, he does have 8, which is pretty good, which is really good. This is what we want. Communication influences an NPC's opinion of a character, quite possibly affecting his willingness to talk. Intelligence and senses, and as we spoke last episode, the blue skills are the character's primary skill. They receive a 25% bonus on top of their current value. So we won't touch that yet. Then we have sword, determines a character's ability to hit and to penetrate with any sword in combat. Strength and dexterity. Dagger, same thing for dagger, except dexterity and speed. So he wouldn't be the best dagger wielder. Staff and wand, strength and dexterity, both very good for him. Shield, strength and dexterity. Bow, determines a character's flair for handling a bow or crossbow and shooting its arrows or bolts with deadly accuracy, dexterity, and strength. Throwing and sling, the ability to be on target when anything from a magical bomb to a shuriken to stones from a sling is thrown. The skill also affects the likelihood that thrown magic items will not fail or backfire, dexterity and strength. Finally, locks and traps, the delicate ability of successfully inspecting and disarming traps and picking locks on doors. Dex and intelligence. Music, the ability to play enchanted musical instruments and bring forth from them different strengths of magical spells, dexterity and intelligence. And pickpocket, the ability to pickpocket or shoplift items or gold from unsuspecting NPCs, dexterity and speed. So, gonna keep him pretty basic. I would probably go, well, that's the most we can put in close combat right now. I would probably go like, let's see, we have 10 points left. Maybe 1 in communication, 1 in music. 2 in shield. 3 in staff and wand, and 3 in sword. Maybe something like that. Close combat is closer extended weapon, senses and intelligence. Yeah, I think staff and wand, strength and dexterity. So that is probably what I would do. Just give him a little bit of staff wielding ability. Alright, so let's go next. And probably going to make this character. Male Drakon, Bard, level 1 novice. Choose your character's portrait and personality, select a voice, and enter a name and nickname. So he's going to be a bard. Wow, lots of cool pictures. I would probably go with maybe this. Maybe that one. And as for his personality, what do I see him as? Laid back, perhaps? The burly bard?
You want me fight? I fight.
No.
'Tis wit, not strength, that make us solid, lad. But I be lucky to have both.
That's pretty cool. Laid back.
Who can make the muddy water clear? Let the water be still, and it will become clear on its own.
Huh.
Well, hello there. I think I hear the open road calling our names. Say, isn't that a song?
Kind of like that. Full name, what would be a dragon type name? Ansediar, Draconis, and nickname would just be Ansediar. Let's see, laid back. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. We can always edit them in Setiar. So that's character number 1. Let's go ahead and create another character. Next character, well, would be the Valkyrie. And for Valkyrie, let's see. You know, these numbers are not the end-all be-all, because if we look, okay, the elf has a 5 bonus points per attribute. and 15 bonus points, but also gets 10 wind, 20 mind resist, so, you know, different things play into it for sure. A Valkyrie. She can be a Valkyrie, but doesn't have the greatest, like, combat skills to start, but definitely will have good, no, not going to be a fairy, because I think, if anything, I'll make, like, a fairy ninja, but, Rawolf has 25 bonus points. Polearm skill bonus. Oh, and cheat death. Mook. Might go with Rawolf. Devout and hardy creatures. Caring personalities and thick coats. Traces of strong vitality and keen senses. Oh, the Rawolf's unequaled piety makes it an excellent priest, lord, or Valkyrie. Okay, so we have 25 points to spend. I would immediately take piety up to 60. I would take strength up to 55. Let's look at Valkyrie. Piety, vitality, dex, speed. Yeah, those are minimum requirements. I'd probably go 5 speed, 5 dexterity. And, is intelligence really needed for, well, she's just going to be polearm in close combat, basically. So mythology and axe. Mythology's not really worrying about it. Senses, some combat skills such as close combat, initiative, scouting, mythology, spotting monsters, sighting monsters. Doesn't need the most intelligence. Probably would get 3 senses. And then maybe 1 vitality, 1 speed. Something like that. Let's just check out how these skills are going to work. She's got a 6 close combat, 6 mythology, 8 polearm, 8 axe, and you can see the skills are already very different for her. Excuse me. Let's see here. So 15 points. Axe is governed by strength and dex. Polearm, strength and dex, such as a halberd or lance. That's probably what I want her to use mostly. Mace and flail could be interesting with any mace-like item, including the flail or hammer. Modern weapon, such as muskets or guns or omniguns. Could give her like a backup throwing weapon. Like a bomb, like, I don't know, throwing darts or something. Shield could be interesting, but polearms are usually two-handed, I would think. Axe, so I would go probably... Oh, there's also dagger. Dexterity and speed, she's capable. If we go back, dexterity, speed. She's very balanced, now that I look at it. Take 1 out of there and put 1 here. That looks pretty good. Now she's down to 14. Oh, because we spent a point. Mace and flail. So dagger is dex and speed. Mace and flail is strength and dex. Either way we go. Probably go 2. Or like 4, 4, 2. and then have 5 points left. Go 2 into shield, and then really should get a few points of artifacts to use magical items. Mythology is already a 6. So we could probably go like 3 points in artifacts. I don't know, that's a lot of weapon skills. I'm gonna go more like that. She can only equip one at a time. Because no dual weapons. If I were to imagine her with 2 daggers, or a dagger and an axe, or a sword and an axe, we'd have to make some changes here. Shield as if like she's using a dagger, or a mace and shield, or a flail and shield. The fact she's already got that much axe kind of, I don't know. Who else could use dagger? A ranger, perhaps? You know what? I may roll a fairy ninja instead of a gadgeteer. I don't know yet. Gadgeteer just sounds fun, whereas fairy ninja is a bit more practical for our needs, I would think. Still gonna roll a ranger, but not a, I don't know about a gadgeteer. Could do something like that. We'll probably call this okay for now. Well, no, I don't want to go too much with the dual weapons because she is still going to be using a polearm mostly. That's why I don't even really want to go into sword that much, but Okay, so this is a raw wolf. Female. Maybe with that. Kindly.
Sure, darling. Just leave it in my hands. I have loads of experience, believe me.
Okay, and what's voice 1?
An adventure? Why, I'd be delighted to help you. It sounds most entertaining.
Well, well. I wondered when you would get around to me. You won't be disappointed.
One may feel fear in the face of danger, so long as one banishes fear when danger actually arrives. So say the wise.
I've consulted the stars, and they forecast great things for our adventure.
I'd love to join you. It sounds absolutely fabulous.
Probably go kindly.
Sure, darling. Just leave it in my hands. I have loads of experience, believe me.
You got it. I'm ready for anything, and I mean anything.
Let's get moving then. We don't have much time.
We'll make her a more serious Valkyrie, I think. Full name for a raw wolf. Daisy. Daisy Bell. Daisy Bell. Daisy Bell Sampson. Nickname Daisy. Alright, that's good for now. Daisy Bell. And Setiar, so our next character, I'm thinking right now for the third frontliner, will either be a ranger, which is not optimal as a frontliner, but maybe a fairy ninja. But I would have her probably be a back row character anyway as a fairy ninja, so let's look at Gadgeteer again. Intelligence, dexterity, senses. Experts in engineering, they can make deadly devices from mundane items found during travels. Only Gadgeteers can use Gadgeteering items, which means that they have special items only they can use. And he can use modern weapons, which I'm interested in. Engineering we could use. Range combat, modern weapon. Okay, so let's see who would make a good engineer. I'm thinking dwarf. Oh, maybe not. Mook, of course. Has 30 bonus points. Wow. Felper has 25. We only had 15, minus 15 for the Lizard Man. We only had 15 for our Drakon Bard. A Gnome Gadgeteer, of course, could be good. I think we'll have a male Gadgeteer. Dwarf gets minus 10. Yikes. So, someone using a gun. Hobbit Engineer could be pretty interesting. Hobbit Tinkerer, let me look here. Fairy Tinker is pretty funny. 20 bonus points, but could get the job done. Has plenty of dexterity. But then again... let's see. Would she be able to use Gadgeteer items? I guess so. It doesn't say. You know, she has an equipable item weight limit, reduced carrying capacity, unusual starting equipment, but nothing that says she can't use certain weapons. Mook Gadgeteer might be pretty cool. Has good dexterity, not so good speed. Human Gadgeteer is pretty solid. What is intelligence for? Gadgeteering? Engineering? Yeah. What about senses? Initiative? Yeah, I'm not sure. Dexterity for sure. Doesn't say anything about ranged weapons there. It says with physical attacks and all weapon skills. Guess it's not as important. For ranged attacks. Human Gadgeteer. Might go with a Gnome Gadgeteer. They get 10 Mind Resist, 10 Earth Resist. I didn't think to look at the resist so far. What do Drakons get again? Minus 5 Mental Resist, minus 5, I guess, Holy Resist, Divine Resist. Oh, that's Mental Magic, okay. And that's Divine Magic. That's Water. They get good Water and some Wind. And then who else did we use? A Raw Wolf gets pretty good Water, really good Divine Resistance, and Earth Resistance. I think maybe a male Hobbit Gadgeteer would be pretty cool. 9 Earth Resist, but does get 30 bonus points. So let's see how we would do this. Definitely put 5 in Intelligence, Strength. Affects any maneuver that requires physical strength from hitting creatures to the damage done. Not really required for a Gadgeteer. We can even put 5 more in Dexterity, 5 more in Speed, 5 more in Senses. Still have 10 left over. Piety. give him 3 in piety. Vitality, 2. And then maybe 3 more in strength, or in speed. And 2 more in dexterity. Looks pretty good. Let's see what we can do with the points here. So let's see what engineering is. Sorry if I sound stuffed up, guys. It's that time of night. The result of much education and the natural knack that determines a gadgeteer's ability to build new items, merge existing items, and operate a variety of devices, intelligence and dexterity. Oh yeah, this hobbit has wildly good intelligence and dexterity. So engineering's a 9. Ranged combat's a 9. Modern weapons a 9. Dexterity and speed. Locks and traps is a 9. Right, because we're not going to go rogue, so... throwing and sling. Dexterity and strength. Bow, dexterity and strength. Not as fabulous for the gadgeteer. The hobbit gadgeteer. If we were to put him on the front line like a rogue, potentially, we could go for something like dagger build. And I'd probably get him a shield, although strength, I'd probably go 2 shield anyway. Maybe bow for absolute, you know, just in case mode. Strength, let's go ahead and take the 2 out of vitality and put it into, well, maybe something like that. Yeah, that looks alright. Then we still have 7 points left. Dual weapons, dual daggers. Dexterity and senses, which are both pretty good. Throwing and sling, I guess. 2 points in those. We have 5 points left. Can even use swords, but that's strength stuff. Artifacts, intelligence and senses. Mythology. I'll have to see what else we have. I put in just a 2 there. I think that looks pretty good. Our ranger could use bow, so I think I'm going to take bow off there and go more artifacts and dual weaponry. Just giving him a bit of a chance to go on the front line. The strength and dexterity, I think that's pretty good. I like it. Let's go next, and this hobbit has glasses. We'll go with that look. Male hobbit. Chaotic.
What do you want? If it walks, I can change that.
Ordinary men fear the power of darkness. I revel in it.
Oh man.
All right, but don't expect me to waste my time yakking.
Bit of a loner gadgeteer. I'm kind of thinking a more aggressive type.
He was happy to join. He thought it would make an exciting chapter in his book.
Hobbit.
You're going to need someone of my superior intelligence. Some call it ego, but I call it talent.
I think we'll go with intellectual. Just curious what aggressive would say.
Yeah, slice him, dice him. No sense being nice to him. That's my motto.
Yeah, intellectual with a bit of an ego. Let's see. How about Yipper? Yipper Strongfoot. Yipper Strongfoot. Wait, Yipper. Yipper Kennison. His name will be Yipper. Okay, then that's 3 characters, right? Valkyrie, Bard, Gadgeteer. Now we can go ahead and make our Ranger. Which I have no clue what kind of Ranger we're going to make yet. An Elven Ranger could be a good idea. Dwarven Ranger gets no bonus points. Gnome Ranger gets 30 bonus points. Wow. We have a Drakon, a Felper Ranger, could be pretty good. A Mook Ranger gets 40 bonus points. Oh my gosh. But I think the Mook's going to be a Psionic. They get 50. Well, they do have a lot of dexterity and speed to make up for, though. Which we would be doing for sure. Can Psionics, I wonder what kind of skills they get. That's going to matter. How we build like our party. I already did kind of make the Gadgeteer though, someone who can play the front line. Can a Psionic play front line? Dwarven Psionic, let's just go like, let's say we did this. I don't get it. Oh, they don't have any possible way to make the psionics. I guess they do. 55 intelligence, 60 senses. Oh, I didn't pick a gender. So the psionic will probably be female. That's just for the sake of, do this. Oh, okay, they get spells to pick. Okay, they get magic. Yeah, they don't get much of anything defensively. I mean, offensively. So Gadgeteer was a good pick to do that. Well, it makes sense. The mage classes are down here. Right. The fighter tanks are up here. So Ranger looks more like its potential, like a Lord of the Rings Ranger to go on the front line. Elf, let's see if we go with like a... I don't know who's going to be the Scion. Or the Psionic. Possibly an elf. Elf woman. And then Bishop might even get a dwarf in there. No. They're minus 10 bonus points. Unfortunately, we can't get a dwarf for much of anything. We still have a fairy that we haven't used. A fairy bishop could be cool. Fairy ranger? No, barely makes it. So we'll go with like a... I don't want to min-max, so to say. I don't mind doing it, but... I mean, a mook ranger just makes for a cool character. And she will be a female. And we definitely have to get that speed up. And the dexterity's good. So ranger. Range critical, searches all the time. So definitely needs senses. Speed, dexterity. Piety? Not really. Intelligence for sure. Strength for sure. 5 more in senses and something like that. Let's see what we've got here. Bow is 8, range combat's 9, mythology is 9. So there's our mythology person. Yes, this is like a Lord of the Rings ranger. They can use plenty of melee stuff. Scouting is 9 also. Determines the range at which a ranger can search for hidden items or secret doors. Scouting also affects the range the party will detect camouflaged monsters and those approaching from the sides or the rear. Senses and intelligence. Modern weapon, dexterity and speed. First of all, let's get like 3 points in artifacts. You know, I might kind of tweak the Gadgeteer, knowing that the Ranger is going to be more of the frontline character, whereas he can get like, let's see, dexterity and strength for throwing and sling. You can use mace and flail and sword. Let's make him another possible frontline character. Dual weapons is dexterity and senses, both of which are very good. And then we'll take maybe something like that. A very well-rounded combatant. Or maybe we'll go like... maybe something like that. Okay. And this mook is a female, right? Yep. Oh, that's cute. Let's go with that one, I think. And she can be, cunning, perhaps?
If you're looking for someone to protect your interests, I'm the one. I have excellent credentials.
Burley?
All right then. I join you as soon as I finish milking the cows and gelding the bulls.
It's a little much.
I've consulted the stars, and they forecast great things for our adventure.
A bit of an eccentric. No, the psionic can be eccentric. Loner, maybe?
All right then. But look here. I know what's what, so don't try to pull anything.
Some believe I can speak with animals, but it is they who communicate with me.
I kind of really like this voice.
All right then. But look here. I know what's what, so don't try to pull anything.
I wish there was more phrases we could register. Her name could be Chakara Dranar, nicknamed Chakara. 2 characters left. We've got, I think we're making a pretty good party here, but I may make a few kind of secondary characters and then toy with the idea of who we're using for sure, like before making the next episode. So then we want, like, am I going to use an alchemist or a bishop instead of a bishop, use an alchemist? Am I going to tweak the gadgeteer to be more ranged and the ranger more melee? I don't know. But next would be in fact the bishop, and I think all signs point to a fairy bishop. Lizardman is minus 40 points. Oh my gosh. Felper, 10 bonus points. No, we'll go with a fairy bishop, 25, and of course I think we'll go with female for her too. And let's see. So bishops obviously are magical, so they're going to need intelligence. Need some kind of strength. Piety for sure is a thing. Speed is very good for a bishop. Get our heals off quickly. Senses. Some artifacts. Put 2 into that. Dexterity for sure. Put 2 into that. Vitality. Yeah, let's put 3 more into that. So maybe even 55 dexterity is enough. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, and the spells, spell points will increase with each spell chosen. We have 2 spell picks, so we can go. There's a lot of spells in the game, which is very cool. Stamina. Priest and Alchemist can cast any time on one ally, thrown, range. A rejuvenating boost of energy restores a portion of stamina to a single target. That's very good. It happens to be water magic. Then, but of course we have the Divine, which we're going to be focusing on, I think. The Psionic will have to do the offensive stuff, probably. Let's look at Bless. Targets the whole party in a short range, lasts for 2 rounds per power level. So one thing about the game is you can use the spells at differing power levels, I believe. Magically increases the party's armor class and aids their chances of hitting their targets. Power level increases the duration of the spell but has no impact on its effectiveness. And that is 4 SP. So if we took Bless, okay, taking more spells in the same school gives us more SP in that school, so that's pretty interesting. We'll see what else there is. Honestly, this is psionics, right? Or mental magic. Psionic. Let me go ahead and get my water bottle. Sleep. I do want to eventually get her into different forms of traditional wizardry magic, like these 4 elements. Man, I'm so stuffed up. I hate when this happens, but oh well. We deal with it. I'm thinking stamina, though. Restoring some stamina might be good, because in case someone runs out in combat, and we have to quickly. Plus, she can eventually go on to learn Paralyze, which I'm sure disables one opponent by solidifying the life fluids. Duration of the paralysis is determined by power level. 1 round per power level. Maybe stamina. I don't know. The more practical choice and the, like, quote-unquote smarter choice would be to get Bless as well. But, I guess we'll do that. As much as I want to get stamina. I wish she had a 3rd pick. Is that a thing? If we were to go like less speed, less senses, and bump up the intelligence, would that make any difference? Still has two picks. Well, honestly, I think it should look more like that anyway. I think that's pretty good. Alright, Blessed Heal Wounds. 15 points on so much stuff here. Wow. Artifacts, 6. Artifacts are based on intelligence and senses. Mythology, communication. She doesn't need mythology. She doesn't really need any kind of combat, except for her magic. Oh, look at these skills though. Psionics, Alchemy, Divinity, Wizardry, all at 7 and 6. So this is the study of psionics. Heavily affects the learning of new psionic spells, and to a lesser degree than the individual realm skills, it contributes to spell points to every realm. It also affects the chance of success when casting that realm's spells. So, Divinity, controlling attribute Piety. We'll definitely go ahead and raise that. Wizardry, eventually I want to get. We'll raise that. Alchemy as well. Dexterity and intelligence. But this is alchemy spells. This isn't necessarily alchemy. Well, I guess it is alchemy. Alchemy is alchemy. Like, raise that by 2. Sonics I'm not worried about. Water magic I definitely want to go with. Probably divine magic. Let's go back a little bit. Air is sleep. Earth is itching skin. 1 round per power level. An annoying irritant coats enemies in front of the caster, lessening their ability to attack and defend. It's pretty good. And since we're gonna get bonus spell points based on our skills, we can go ahead and mess with that a bit. So divine magic is the ability to rely upon and request divine power successfully for magical incantation. Divine magic heavily affects the success of a spell as well as the amount of spell points in the divine realm. To a lesser degree, it also affects the character's resistance to the divine realm. So we'll take that to like 5. Water magic to 4 for now. Alchemy to 7. Divinity up 1. Now what are we looking at here? 5 spell points here. All paralyzed I took. Met stamina. And heal wounds. Only 5 here. Really wish he could get to 6, but I'm not sure how it's going to happen. Let's just go safe then. Get 7. She can cast a bless and a heal. And she's still at 7. Probably get a little bit, excuse me, of the learning of new mage spells to a lesser degree. Spell points to every realm. Okay, so we'll go with spell points to every realm. And 3 to water magic. And then maybe 1 to air. one to Earth and absolutely no combat skills. I don't know, this might not go over too well. Just checking the SP here. With artifacts, use a large number of magical items. Maybe go like throwing and sling a little bit. Slow down on the wizardry at first. That is dexterity and strength. Oh boy. She's not ideal for that either, but it kind of gives her something to utilize. Oof. I don't know if we should even bother, honestly. We're going to tweak this again probably next episode to try to figure out exactly what we want to do here. That looks pretty good for now. She's a fairy. Kind of like that one.
Well, well. I wondered when you would get around to me. You won't be disappointed.
Burley would be funny.
I've consulted the stars, and they forecast great things for our adventure.
How about, chaotic?
There will be many implements of destruction at my disposal, yeah?
You looking at me?
I think I have to go with the implements of destruction. She's kind of an evil healer. How is that gonna work? Maybe aggressive is more.
You got it. I'm ready for anything, and I mean anything.
Let's get moving then. We don't have much time.
Laid back could be interesting.
Just relax. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's typical fairy.
Release your hold on this world. All things change or perish. This is a great enlightenment.
Think we'll take that. Full name being Esmeralda Esmeralda Happenstance. We could always tweak them later, but I think we're probably how many minutes in? 58. Wow, we're an hour in and we didn't even finish the whole party yet. So I'm gonna save here. I hope it saves these characters. If I cancel, well, I'm gonna try it. Yeah, it saves them. So I want to thank you guys for joining me for the full hour. If you've made it this far, next time we'll make the final character probably. Maybe tinker around with another character or two, then kind of put some early parties together that we think make work well together. So I hope you'll join me for that. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching. Much love, peace, and joy. Catch you in the next one. And yeah, much more to come. Bye-bye, guys.